Look at PXLW. Let's take a look at that gap here. You guys know how I am with these gaps, but you also know that this stock is trading at $4.79. And when you have that, I don't watch the gaps as close as I do, like I do with the smaller stocks. Okay, I mean in my personal opinion, every level of the gaps changes according to the price. You get over $1, they play different. You get over $5, they play different. For a perfect example, look down here. You got a gap. I could see them all over. Looking back here, you don't see anything filling. Even a possible wick try there. I wouldn't even put that on the record there. That could have been a bad finger trade or whatever the case might be. But either way, coming down here, looks like to be a big support line around that 250 with PXLW. Right now, you guys also have that gap right here. Exactly why I said I wouldn't be too concerned with that, other than the support line right there at that 350. $3 and $2.50. So it's about every 50 cents right here. Looks to be about a pretty big support resistance line. We can see that right here as well. Okay, $4 coming off of that 450. I think 450 now is going to be becoming a pretty solid support line. And looking back at this stock, especially since what was this February 2016. That is when this thing really had that turnaround, started climbing back up nice and slow. Look at it, nice and steady coming off of that area of the dollar. Where is that low? About $1.25. Okay, $1.25 working your way up here over the last year and a half. Really nice. Taking a look into what's going on right now. Seems to be a little bit of a resistance level up there at $4.75. And I think that is exactly where you're hitting right now. My personal opinion here. There we go. 75. You guys are right there outside that upper Bollinger Band. That's going to be my biggest concern right now, other than anything else. You guys are getting outside that upper Bollinger Band. The RSI is right now at 63. And it looks like the earnings were yesterday, if I'm looking at this correctly. So obviously with that move right there, you guys see it. So in my personal opinion, I think that right now with the spinning top of this candle that we're seeing right now, I think that it might trend back down into the lower Bollinger Band and then bounce off of that. But I would watch for it to start pulling back right now.
Yeah, so like you said, yesterday they reported their financials. So Pixelworks reports first quarter 2017 financial results. So Pixelworks Incorporated, a leading provider of visual processing solutions, yesterday announced financial results for the first quarter ended March 31st, 2017. So for the first quarter 2017, revenue was $22.7 million, which included $9.2 million of end-of-life product revenue, and compares to $16 million in the prior quarter and $11.2 million in the first quarter of 2016. Excluding end-of-life contribution, first quarter 2017 revenue in the digital projection market reflected typical seasonality and grew 42% year on year. So on a GAAP basis, gross profit margin in the first quarter of 2017 was 54.6% compared to 53.2% in the fourth quarter of 2016 and 32.2% in the first quarter of 2016. First quarter 2017 GAAP operating expenses were $9 million compared to $8.1 million in the previous quarter and $12.1 million in the first quarter of 2016. So for the first quarter of 2017, GAAP net income was $2.8 million or 0.9 cents per diluted share compared to a GAAP net income of $337,000 or 0.01 cents per diluted share in the fourth quarter of 2016, and a GAAP net loss of $8.6 million or a negative 0.31 per share in the first quarter of 2016, which included a restructuring charge of $4.3 million or 15 cents per share. Let's see. So on a non-GAAP basis, first quarter 2017 gross profit margin was 54.8% compared to a 53.6% in the fourth quarter of 2016 and 48% in the first quarter of 2016. First quarter 2017 gross profit margin increased compared to the prior periods due to a decrease in direct material cost as a percentage of revenue related to a more favorable mix of products sold. So first quarter 2017 operating expenses on a non-GAAP basis were $8.3 million compared to $7.3 million in the previous quarter and $9.2 million in the first quarter of 2016. Let's see. So I'm just going to go right down to this, the CEO's comment. So President and CEO of Pixelworks, Todd DeBonis, commented, first quarter revenue of $22.7 million was near the high end of our guidance, reflected a combination of solid end market demand and approximately $9 million related to end-of-life products, combined with gross margin being at the upper end of our guidance and operating expenses being at the low end. We achieved strong bottom line results and adjusted EBITDA of $5 million, which is a multi-year high. Also notable in the quarter, we entered into an $8 million co-development agreement with a large projector customer that we believe will further solidify and extend our leadership position in the market. We remain on track for the year-over-year revenue growth and continued profitability in 2017, even when excluding the contribution from end-of-life products. So, I mean, it goes on. There's more to obviously this press release, and you'd probably want to go and actually look at the actual quarterly. So if you want to do so, just go right over to that PXLW board on Investors Hangout. From there, you'll see the company profile, the time and sales, the recent news, which I was just reading from, and the filings, the financials, the buy rating. And as always, if you have an opinion, feel free to share it with the tens of thousands of like-minded investors that we have using the site daily by posting right over there on that Pixelworks Incorporated board on Investors Hangout.
All right, and all that information is right here that Joe is just going over completely free at your fingertips. As far as the chart, we said 474. That's when we first started looking at it. I said, watch, getting outside upper BB, Bollinger Band. You might start pulling back. You guys are now at 462. I mean, that was a pretty quick pullback. I wasn't expecting to see that so quick right here in live time, but we did see that, and that's what we're seeing right now. It's pulled back about 12 cents since. I would personally watch for that to come down to probably about the 450 mark and then bounce off of there. Not today. Might take a day or two, maybe 3 to get down to there. The way that's going right now, could even tap there. But I would watch for it to pull back for another day or so after this as well, and then watch for that bounce. We'll see what happens once you get to that 450 mark for sure. If that doesn't hold, it could go down to 425. But I would definitely want to see that hold. PXLW, if you follow the stock, make sure you subscribe and hit that like button. We'd appreciate it. Get out there and share this video. The more you share it, the more it's requested, the more we will cover it. If you would like to participate in our next live show, you can do so at investorshangout.com/live.